Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Reactor, and this is Quinn, and today's article comes from globalnews.ca and says, massive cow named Knickers has been deemed too large to eat. It doesn't fit in anyone's mouth. No, but I feel like that's like if you have a cow that is super big, you want to breed that because having a bigger cow means more meat.
Right.
Although it could also mean tougher meat. I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
I definitely think you'd want to breed this cow
Yeah.
rather than eat it.
Well, it's a genetic mutation that is super rare.
I thought this was fake at first when I saw it. I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh, it's just some Photoshop photo. They're trying to get
Because it looks
views.
ridiculous. Like, it looks unbelievably bigger.
The photos
There-
look.
there's a photo of it.
That is the photo, and I was like, nah, that's
Like
not
that,
real.
that's not. Yeah. What are those little pygmy cows?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Are
what I
those like
thought.
little baby cows surrounding one mama? Nope.
She's a real biffer, mate. Real
It's a
biffer.
boy. It's a boy.
Oh,
as far as I know.
he's a real biffer.
Yeah, it's insane, man. Let's read it. I'll watch the video afterward. You don't want to have a beef with this guy. Knickers is a 7-year-old steer believed to be the biggest in Australia. In Australia, biggest in the world. I mean, there are
You
other.
show me a cow that's bigger than this guy, and I
Uh-huh.
will agree with you. But until you prove
Yeah, like I
evidence
doubt that, man. This thing's 4 times the
anybody
size of
in
these
the
other ones.
world has a bigger cow than Australia, this cow, prove me wrong.
Australian cattle dogs are gonna have to start dealing with bigger. They're gonna have to get bigger cattle dogs.
You need a cattle lion for that.
Cattle mastiff. A massive Australian cow named. Yeah, see, they're calling it a cow. I'm pretty sure it's a bull though.
Yeah, it's not a dairy cow. It doesn't have udders on it.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
they're confusing that cow means female, bull
Right,
means male,
right.
and they're both. What's the name? Cattle. They're cattle
right
or bovine, right?
something like that.
A massive cow named Knickers has been spared the slaughterhouse and the dinner table thanks to its sheer size. Dude, you'd be an idiot if you killed that.
Right.
The behemoth bovine hails from a farm in the town of Myallup in Western Australia and was recently saved from the barbecue because of its size, standing nearly 2 meters tall and weighing more than a car. He was too big to go into the export plant's chain. Jeff Pearson, the steer's owner, told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, "We have a big turnover of cattle, and he was lucky enough to stay behind." Lucky? Are you serious? They were actually like gonna. They weren't gonna breed this? That's insane.
Yeah, like anybody. Who
Any
knows
genetic
anything,
mutation.
Yeah, like don't you watch
Even if it-
any kind of
Even if it was the smallest cow in Australia, like, wow, this is the smallest cow we've ever seen. Like, don't
Right.
kill that either. Are you serious?
It would only make sense if they are so used to seeing cows that large that they're just like,
Like, yeah, we'll
scoff
get
at it.
another one
Yeah,
every
right,
next spring. No big deal.
which I don't think is the case.
Yeah. According to Pearson, the cow stands 194 centimeters tall and weighs about 1,400 kilograms, double the weight of an average dairy cow and about 50 centimeters taller. So is it a cow?
It has the colors of a dairy cow, and that's what I thought at first. Like, this can't be real. Why would a dairy cow be that big?
And why isn't it around any other animals with the same coat? Like, these are not related to it.
I've
know?
never seen beef cows that are black and white. I thought that was like a milk cow
Yeah, maybe.
coloration.
It was too heavy. I wouldn't be able to put it through a processing facility, Pearson told Perth Now. So I think it will just live happily ever after. So having a giant cow, if it is a cow, it will produce more milk for its giant babies. Wouldn't it? Isn't that something you want?
Right.
You have to feed it more
Right.
for the more milk, but it's almost like condensing the work, you know? Instead of having 6 cows that make this much milk, you have 1 cow that makes this much milk.
I think
You just have
anytime-
to feed it like 6 cows.
Right. I mean, when there's an animal this big, it's got to be documented and saved so that people can go, wow, look at this thing. I can't believe it's real. It gives people, I don't know, joy to see this happen. I remember buying wine one time where it was like this claimed like 47, 50-pound rooster from the turn of the last century that was like a circus rooster that was so big that they didn't kill it. They would just bring it around and show it to people because it was like 50 pounds. I don't remember
That's a
the
pretty
name
big
of
rooster,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was.
But why didn't they breed it?
Exactly. You'd think that would be like the number one thing people would want to do.
I mean, maybe it's not genetic. It could have maybe had a head injury when it was young, and its hormone glands became
Maybe
overexcited.
It stuck its head in a window of a room and happened to just eat a couple, maybe it was just randomly eating someone's steroids. We don't know.
Yeah, yeah. The farmer said the cow had been put to work since being saved for the dinner table. leading and coaching other cattle, leading them to their death. You'll put it in a paddock, and all the other cattle seem to be attracted to him, Pearson told ABC. Whenever he wants to get up and start walking, there's a trail of hundreds of cattle following him. Oh, he's the boss.
Cattle aren't stupid. They know they do have some sort of a structure, and when they see this alpha cow, they're like, yeah, let's just follow this biffer, mate. He's going to lead us through all the crap that's going to, there's no problem.
He'll protect us better than we can.
Exactly.
We all know when Nicker is on the move, he said. Right. Let's check out this video.
Want to have a beef with name? There he is Knickers, and he's believed to be the biggest steer in Australia. He's 7 years old. He's a Holstein Friesian, and he's almost as tall as NBA legend Michael Jordan. Knickers weighs more than a small car. He has enough meat on him to make about 3,000 burgers, but he has been spared from the barbecue. His size is his saving grace. Turns out he is too big for the abattoir to process.
You mean you're just like too lazy to process it because it would take all day?
No, I think they're idiots if they don't breed it.
Yeah.
That's like what I'm getting from this. If you had a dog that was
Tibetan Mastiff times 2.
Yeah, if it was like a Great Dane that was actually the size of a horse, like that's a giant Great Dane.
Yeah.
And you don't say, oh no, we're gonna snip his balls off. No, you breed him, dude.
Even though the balls.
It's bad enough that Great Danes only have a lifespan of 6 years, and this one would probably only have a lifespan of 3, I imagine. Because the bigger an animal gets, it seems like the shorter the lifespan.
Right.
Or for dogs, at least.
Right.
It's almost like dogs have encoded in their genetics that, like, because they're from wolves, right? So wolves in their genetics say, this, depending on your size, this is how many times your cells will replicate, and then you die. So by making it bigger than a wolf, it has a shorter lifespan. By making it smaller than a wolf, that's why like toy poodles, they live
forever,
like 20
15 years. Right.
Yeah, compared to a wolf that lives like 8 or 9, I think.
Right. I think that's kind of the same in humans too, isn't it? Like if you look at people like, I guess Andre the Giant, the famed wrestler, he had gigantism where his organs kept growing in his body, I believe. Where that was like his problem was like eventually his body couldn't house the organs that were growing. That's what I remember reading from it. I could be wrong. But yeah, I think that big things die faster than smaller things.
I think I just unlocked a clue to immortality.
What's that? Reactor?
That your genetics tell you how many times how long you're going to live, based on, or how many times your cells are going to replicate, like safely, or how quickly they'll diminish after every replication.
Okay.
Like every time your cells, your DNA gets used.
Sure.
I'm not going to get into all the science, but dogs kind of prove it.
Right.
So if we figure out where in the DNA that info is stored, we can make it so that a human can replicate their DNA, 1,000 times more than normal.
Right.
Or we can make super tiny humans that live forever.
I think the super small humans would be crushed by the bigger humans, as we're not fully evolved enough to respect and appreciate a small type of human yet. I think people would just be like, look at those little humans.
Treat them as, we would.
It's just I don't think we're ready for that.
Tom Thumb, that's what it is, right? Tom Thumb.
Like if the world had little, actual little people like that, I don't think they'd get the respect and the rights they deserve.
I've actually always wondered, why can't we breed a dog that fits in your hand? I mean, like an actual little dog that's only that tall,
right? Right.
And then it's you hold on your hand, and it's not a misshaped dog with a Chihuahua bulging giant head, not that kind of, that's a weird
not
evolution.
Like a Chinese hairless dog.
Yeah, but I mean, actually breed them to be a wolf that is small. That'd be. That'd be awesome.
I think the difficulty in breeding any kind of little tiny thing, anything, is going to be that it's hard to
the brain size.
The brain, it's just hard to do surgery on it or diagnose what's wrong with it. How do you even take its pulse?
And would a dog that was that small be able to live for 50 years because it's smaller?
Once it outlives you, would anyone even be able to recognize that it's there to take care of it? Would they hear its barks? I mean, would anyone even know it's alive?
Another thing is, because when it comes to cell replication, is your lifespan. the more you eat, the more your cells replicate. So that's why, like, they've actually proven that when you're starving, you live longer. They've starved rats and made sure they were healthy, and not really, I don't know if I can say healthy, but they gave them only what they needed and kept them in a sort of starvation mode.
And I'm sure on the other side, they had really fat ones that ate all day.
And died early. But I guess they could blame that on the health issues of eating too much.
Sure.
But like tortoises, they can live for like 200 years, right?
Mhm.
They don't spend that much energy.
They have probably a really low metabolism and they
Yeah.
move slow,
Mhm.
which probably helps.
Yeah, so they're not replicating their cells as much. They have a finite number of replications.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and then I guess that obviously that's how nature would want to work, because you want like old animals to die out so that evolution can persist.
Right.
You know, if a human lived for 1,000,000 years, that DNA would be 1,000,000 years old, and that's like, get that crap out of here. You know, it's like we've evolved better DNA since then. We don't need you. You're just kind of soiling our process. Yeah. You have anything else you want to say about this?
It's a cool story. I'm
Mhm.
glad this is real.
Yeah,
This
I can't believe they're not breeding it. Breed it, man. Come on. That'd be.
It's a
giant cows,
no-brainer,
man.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Find the big female, and then let's make even bigger.
You don't even need a big female. You just need, I mean, the biggest female you can find, I guess.
Sure.
Because that would help, and then the babies would be big. You know.
Yeah, it would be hoped.
And then you can just breed them to be bigger. But other than that, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and check our description for our Patreon link if you want to help us. Thanks for watching.